into your seat. You're at the edge of your seat to start. Shoulders down and back, hands down on those thighs for grounding or up for more receiving. We're just going to take a few moments here to practice some breath and just really settle into your space. Feel free to close the eyes if you choose. And focusing on your breath. When you're ready, I want you to place one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly, just below the belly button. Seated nice and tall, I want you to notice how the body changes when you breathe. Still inhaling and exhaling out the nose. Notice if the chest rises, or maybe the shoulders tense up, or maybe the belly rises. Just noticing how your body adjusts to bringing air into the lungs. We're going to practice our breathing today with a 4-count breath. Again, the eyes can be heavy or closed. What we're going to do is a 4-count breath in, a 4-count hold at the top, a 4-count exhale, as well as a 4-count hold at the bottom. So you'll take your time. I'll count us through it. However, listen to your body. If you need to take your time and go a little bit slower, or maybe you're just not quite as slow, you need to go a little bit quicker, that's fine. But you get the idea, okay? So settling in, eyes closed. Take a nice big inhale for 4, 3, 2, hold at the top for 3, 2, 1, exhale nice and slow, 3, 2, 1, hold at the bottom, 3, 2, 1, inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. We're going to do this one more time. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, hold for 4, 3, 2, exhale for 4, 3, 2, and hold for 4, 3, 2, and then back to your natural breathing. In and out the nose. Releasing those hands down to the thighs. Down for more grounding or up for more receiving. And then gently open up the eyes. Beautiful job. We're going to do a few spinal twists here to start to warm up the body. Take your time. Inhale, float those arms up. Exhale, spinal twist. Nice and easy to one side. You can hold the back of the chair if you choose. Front hand is to the outside of the front thigh. Good. Gently release. We're going to do this 3 times. Inhale up. Exhale, spinal twist. Take your time. Eye gaze over the back shoulder the best you can. Good. Gently release. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, spinal twist. Gently release. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, spinal twist. Making sure to exhale out all that air. Good. Gently release. One more time each side. Inhaling up and exhale, spinal twist. Good. Gently release. Last time this side. Inhale and then exhale, spinal twist. Gently release to center. Beautiful job. Hands to the thighs, seated nice and tall. All right, so at the edge of your seat, seated nice and tall, feet are planted on the floor here. You have a little bit of space between the feet and the knees, maybe 1 fist or 2 fist distance or so. Toes facing forward, seated nice and tall. Hands can be on the thighs, down for more grounding or up for more receiving. Really reaching through the crown of the head, nice and long spine. Shoulders down and back. And then just start to breathe. Just settle in for a moment. Now, everybody's chairs might be a little bit different sizes, so if you notice that your feet don't reach the floor comfortably, you can always add a rolled up towel or mat or blanket underneath those feet if you need to. So just settling in for a moment. Nice deep breaths in the nose, out the nose. A couple more times, in the nose, out the nose. You can even close the eyes here if you'd like. And start to make that exhale a little bit longer than your inhale. Starting to settle into your chair, letting go of all your thoughts at this moment and really just becoming present in this moment. Allowing your to-do list to stay at the door, and you can always come back to it after this class. All right, on your next breath, let's inhale, take those arms up overhead, eye gaze can open, and then exhale, coming into a nice easy side bend. So you can take the hand to the chair and the other hand will reach up and over. Either side is fine. If you can take the eye gaze up, let's take the eye gaze up. Inhale up, arms up overhead. Exhale over, other side, eye gaze up. Just doing some nice easy side bends here. 2 more times each way. Inhale up, exhale over and reach. Inhale up, exhale over. Making sure to exhale out all your air. Inhale up, 1 more time each side, exhale over. And inhale up, last time, exhale over. Good, inhale those arms up overhead, and then bring those hands down through heart center, bring them together, and then release them down to the tops of the thighs. Now we're gonna come into our seated cow-cats here. So we're gonna inhale, scoop the head forward and up, opening up the throat and the heart space. And then exhale, bowing the head, tuck the chin, nice and easy. Rounding out the shoulders. Good, you're gonna do that 2 more times each way. Inhaling forward. And then exhale into your cat back. Good, 1 more time each way. Inhaling forward. And then exhale, cat back. Beautiful job. Nice and gently come back to that neutral seated position. And let's release those hands down to our sides. So they're hanging off of the thighs here, hanging down at the sides. But we're gonna actively reach those hands down towards the floor. And we're gonna release 1 ear to 1 shoulder. Either side is fine. Now really reaching that opposite hand down towards the floor. Really lengthening the space in between the ear and the shoulder. Inhale, and then exhale, let's take that chin across the chest to the other side, nice and easy. Good, and you can go at your own pace here, just connecting your breath to your movement. Inhale, and then exhale the chin across the chest. Take your time. If you notice any tense spots along the way, maybe you kind of hold in that spot for a breath cycle to allow the muscles to relax, and then you can continue on. You may also go into full neck circles here. Now be very mindful if your neck, if that doesn't feel good to you, you absolutely do not have to do it. You can stick with those half circles if you'd like. So just going at your own pace a few more times, side to side, make sure you're going both directions. Really still reaching those hands down towards the floor. Good. Eventually, let's go ahead and meet me with your ear to the right side. And then let's add that right hand on top of the head for a gentle press down. Now this is a progression, this is an option. If you don't need to add the press of the hand, you don't have to. You can just stay with those half neck circles and don't add the hand. Nice and gently remove the hand. Take that chin across the chest to the left side and add that left hand on top for a gentle press down. Really reaching that right hand down towards the floor. Breathe. Good. Gently releasing that hand down to towards the floor, and then bring that chin towards the chest. Now we're going to add both hands behind the head here for a gentle press forward. Again, this is a gradual progression, so listen to that neck, listen to that body. If it's too much for today, you don't have to. So take your time, breathe, really thinking about lengthening that neck as you get that chin a little bit closer to the chest. Good. Now we're going to keep the hands right where they are. Nice and gently lift the head up so the elbows are nice and wide open, fingertips are behind the head. Now you're going to inhale, you're going to take the eye gaze up, chest up, head goes slightly back. So it's a slight back bend. The head is pressing into the fingertips and the fingertips into the head. So you feel that space in between the shoulder blades activate. Breathe, chest is open. One more deep breath, and then nice and gently come back into your seated position. Release those hands down to your sides and give yourself some shoulder rolls. Really shrugging those shoulders up towards the ears and then back and down. Shrug and release, back and down. About 3 or 4 times. And then you'll switch directions. And then roll it forward, nice and big. Good. Again, 3 or 4 times or so. All right. And then releasing those hands back down to your sides again. They're just dangling there for right now. And we're going to inhale. We're going to take those arms up overhead, really pressing the back of the hands back towards the wall behind you. And then stay nice and tall in your seat. And then exhale, swoop those hands down, back down towards your sides, and then try to press the palms up towards the ceiling. Good, we're gonna do that 2 more times. Inhale, take the arms up, pressing the back of the hands to the back wall. And then exhale, bring them back down and push them back up, palms towards the ceiling. Good, 1 more time each way, inhaling up, and then exhale, cat back. Beautiful job. Keeping those hands down at your sides. Flip the palms towards me or away from you. Good. Take the eye gaze up, really opening up the chest here. Now, the progression to make this a little bit of a deeper chest opener, you can grab the back of your chair or you can clasp the hands behind you. So figure out what is best for you today and allow that heart space to open. Good. 1 more deep breath. And then gently release, bringing those hands out in front, clasping the hands together, interlacing those fingers if you can, and press the palms towards me or away from you. Tuck the chin in slightly, rounding out those shoulders, opening up the back. All right, inhale, release, opening up that chest again, sending those hands down to your sides, opening up that heart to the ceiling, eye gaze up. Of course, holding on to the back of the chair or clasping the hands behind you if you choose. 1 more deep breath, and then gently release. Clasp those hands in front again, palms away from you, and tuck the chin in. Round out those shoulders. You can even shimmy a little bit side to side if that feels good. All right, gently releasing those hands to the thighs, seated nice and tall. 1 cow-cat here. Inhale, scoop the head forward and up, opening up the throat and the heart space so the shoulders are down and back. And then exhale, bow the head, tuck the chin, and round out those shoulders. Beautiful job. Come back to that nice neutral seated position. We're going to take that either hand out, either arm out is fine. Take it out into a T position, and then you're going to bring it across the body and hug it in with the opposite arm. So you're hugging one arm in towards the chest. Make sure the shoulder stays out of the ear. And then give yourself some nice wrist circles here. Maybe 3 or 4 times, one direction, and then switch directions. Nice and easy. You can even do a point and flex like you're waving goodbye. Good, gently release, and then you take the opposite arm out into that T position, bring it across the body, and hug it in, and then add those wrist circles in here if you'd like. Again, about 3 or 4 times, both directions, do what feels good, and then you can add in a couple of point and flexes where you wave goodbye, really reaching those fingertips back towards you and then pointing them down. Good. Gently release, give yourself a couple of huggers. So basically you're just nice and gently swaying those arms down and then bringing them out in front of you, crossing the elbows over each other, alternating between each elbow on top. Good. Now you're going to give yourself a nice big hug. Let's take that right elbow on top, gently squeezing. So you're giving yourself a nice big hug. Palms are going around those shoulders, arms are stacked, squeezing those arms together, press the elbows down towards the chest, and then option. So we're opening up those shoulder blades, and now you have an option to take the chin towards the chest here as well. Now it may restrict your breath a little bit, but you're still breathing. This is a great way to activate the thyroid. Nice deep breaths in and out the nose. One more deep breath. And then gently raise that head up, release those arms. Go ahead and give yourself a couple more huggers, just swaying those arms forward and back. And then you're going to give yourself a nice big hug with that left arm on top. Squeeze those arms together, press them down into the chest, and then release that head forward if you choose. Continuing to breathe in and out the nose. One more deep breath. And gently release that head up. Give yourself a couple more of those nice huggers. Beautiful job. And then you can release those hands back down to the thighs. Now remember, you can drink water whenever you need to. If you need a little rest, you can always sip the water that you have if you need to. All right, coming into those shoulders a little bit more, we're gonna, shoulders and the triceps. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one arm up, like you're gonna raise your hand to say, like you have a question. And then you're gonna bend at the elbow, reaching the hand down towards behind the neck, down the spine. Now the elbow should be facing up towards the ceiling. Let's use that opposite hand to help press that elbow up towards the ceiling. Option to pull it from behind, staying seated nice and tall, getting a nice little tricep stretch here. Good, one more deep breath, and then nice and gently release, and we'll do the other side. Opposite arm up like you're gonna raise your hand, bend at the elbow, take that hand behind the neck, down the spine, and use that opposite hand to help press the elbow further up, or you can pull from behind. Staying seated nice and tall, breathe. Good, one more deep breath. And then nice and gently release. Good, give yourself a couple of those nice shoulder rolls, and then a couple more shoulder rolls forward. Beautiful job. All right, my friends, let's work down into that lower body a little bit. So let's go ahead and bring one thigh, either side is fine. Pick a thigh, and I want you to go and grab that thigh, and I want you to hug it in as close to your body as you can. But I want you to stay seated tall. So don't allow yourself to kind of roll back in that chair. Stay seated nice and tall, hugging that thigh in the best you can. Now, if you can reach for the shin, you can take those hands to the shin here if you'd like, if that's more comfortable. So take your time, seated tall. Once you're comfortable, I want you to give me some ankle rotations here. Again, about 3 or 4 times one direction, and then the other direction. Might have some snap, crackle, popping going on. And then give me some point and flexes, pointing the toe down, and then reaching the toes up 2 or 3 times. Good, and then gently release, and we'll do the other side. So hugging that thigh in as tall as you can, squeezing that thigh in, and of course grabbing for the shin if you choose, and then give yourself some of those nice ankle rotations. Good, about 3 or 4 times, and then you'll go the other direction, making sure you're going in that full circle. Good, and then some point and flexes. Point and flex, point and flex. One more time, good, and then gently release. Go ahead and tap those feet out a little bit, just kind of tap them on the floor, shake out those legs, get some blood flow going there. Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and grab that first thigh that you grabbed and just do some nice little hip circles. So you're just gonna draw some circles with that knee. Now, I want you to be nice and still in the seat here. So we're not moving the torso around, trying to get huge circles. It's not about that. Stay tall, and you're just gently moving that hip joint around 3 or 4 times in one direction, and then you'll switch directions. It just helps to bring some lubrication into that hip joint before we get into some deeper stretches here. Gently release once you're done, and then we'll do hip circles on the other side. So hips, yep, gently, just a nice gentle rotation. It's a little rotation, doesn't have to be huge, and then gently switch directions. Make sure you get an even amount both directions, and then once you're done, gently place that leg down. Perfect job. All right, my friends, we're gonna walk those feet out nice and wide. So you're at the edge of your seat, don't forget. Now, feet are out nice and wide, those hips are open the best you can. Be very mindful here too if you have any hip ailments. Now, hands are gonna be on the inside of the inner thighs, not on the knees themselves. I don't wanna add pressure to the knees. So hands are on those inner thighs. You're gently gonna press the hand either side. You're gonna press the hand into that inner thigh, allowing that hip to open and lengthen the inner thigh. Now, option to take that same side shoulder down towards the floor and take the eye gaze over the opposite shoulder for a nice little spinal twist here too. Inhale, come back to center, and then exhale other side, pressing into that inner thigh. Now remember, you can stay up tall. You don't have to add the spinal twist here, but if you choose, you just drop that shoulder a little bit and take the eye gaze over the opposite shoulder. We're gonna do that 2 more times each direction. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, other side. Making sure to exhale out all your air. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, other side. Good, 1 more time each way. Inhale, center, and then exhale over. Inhale, center, and then exhale, other side. Last time. Good, and then gently come back to center. Walk those feet all the way together, feet and knees together. Now, we're gonna sit nice and tall. You're at the edge of your seat. Depending on the length of your legs, it might feel better to have the heels lifted here, but you can make that decision once we get into this posture. We're gonna give ourselves a nice big hug here. So inhale those arms up overhead, and then exhale, you're gonna bring that chest as close to the thighs as you can. Now, from here, we're gonna wrap those arms around the thighs. So you're gonna give those thighs a nice big hug, getting that chest as close to the thighs as you can comfortably, okay? Now, if you want more, pay attention to the lower back here. You can start to pull the chest away from the thighs, but keeping the hug of the arms. Feeling the vertebrae start to open and lengthening the spine, opening that lower back. Last option here is to tuck the chin under. Now, if you have blood pressure issues, this might not be for you, so you can always just keep the head gently up. Nice deep breaths. 1 more deep breath. And then nice and gently release those arms, roll it on up like a zombie, stacking those vertebrae. Nice and slow, shoulders down and back, head is last to rise. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, give yourself a nice big hug. Get that chest as close to the thighs as you can comfortably. And then you can stay right here, or you can start to pull the chest away from the thighs and then tuck that chin under if you choose. Nice deep breaths. 1 more deep breath. And then nice and gently release. Take your time. Coming back into that neutral seated position. Separating those feet about 2 fist distance or so. Give yourself a couple nice shoulder rolls. Kind of shake it out a little bit. All right, we're gonna do a couple more stretches on the lower body. So let's take 1 leg out in front, getting into our hamstring stretch here. So 1 leg out in front, toes are towards you. Inhale, nice and tall. And then exhale, you're gonna lengthen, reaching that heart space towards the toes. Now we want the spine nice and long. So if you don't reach the toes quite yet, that's okay. You can even just have the hands on the leg. Gently release. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, lengthen. Good, nice deep breaths. Good, one more time. Inhale, nice and tall. And then exhale, lengthen. Beautiful job. Nice and gently come on up, and then we'll do the other side. So taking that opposite foot out nice and long. Good, make sure you're on the edge of your seat. Inhale, nice and tall. And then exhale, lengthen. The goal with the 3 different breath cycles is to try to get a little bit closer to those toes each time. Good, gently release. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, lengthen. Beautiful. Good, gently release. Last time. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, lengthen. Good, gently release, nice and easy. Bring those feet back in. Maybe you tap them out again, kind of tap those feet out. All right, we're gonna do our figure 4 stretch. So feet are that 2 fist distance apart approximately, and we're gonna take one leg on top. So let's go with the right foot. We're gonna take that right ankle on top of the left thigh. Now, if your hip doesn't allow for this to happen, that's fine. You can cross the ankles, you can cross at the ankles here and then hinge forward. For those of you who can have the ankle on top of the thigh, those toes are flexed towards the knee and hands are on the shin. You're gonna inhale nice and tall, and then exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Good, nice and gentle. Only going as far as you feel comfortable. Inhale nice and tall. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale nice and tall. Last time, exhale, hinge forward. Good, gently coming tall and releasing that leg nice and gently. You can tap them out, tap those feet out, shake those legs out again, and then we'll do the other side. So left ankle, either, again, you can cross at the ankles, you can stay right there and hinge forward and get a nice little hip stretch there. Or if you can, bring that left ankle on top of that right thigh, hands on the shin, nice and tall. Inhale, and then exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, hinge forward. Last time, inhale, tall. Exhale, hinge. Good, gently release, seated nice and tall. Uncross that leg. Go ahead and tap those feet out one more time. Beautiful. Feel free to sip your water here. Seated at the edge of your seat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, come on up all the way nice and tall into your mountain pose. Inhale, nice and tall. And then exhale, you're going to hinge at those hips, send those hips back, coming into your yoga chair stance. I'll show you from the front here this first time, and I'll go to the side on the second time. Inhale, come back up into your mountain pose. You can exhale with a slight back bend here if you choose. Inhale, nice and tall. And then exhale, hinge at those hips, coming into your chair pose. So that chair is right behind you. So if you feel unstable or you want to come all the way down to the chair or stay in the chair for your chair pose, that's fine. Breathe, really lengthening here. Inhale, nice and tall. We're going to do that one more time. Exhale, slight back bend. Inhale, tall. Exhale, chair. Still breathing in your chair pose. Now, if you have shoulder issues, you can bring those hands to heart center or to the hips if you need to. One more deep breath. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, mountain pose. Beautiful job. We're bringing those hands back down to heart center. Good job. All right, go ahead and have a seat, nice and gently, safely, right? Don't plop down into the chair. All right, at the edge of your seat, shoulders down and back, hands at heart center. Settle into that chair. You can also release the hands to the thighs if that's more comfortable. Nice deep breaths in and out the nose. You can even close the eyes here. Let's settle in. Really focusing on that body, coming back to where we started. So I want you to start to think about the physical body. Check in with the feet. Notice how they feel. Notice the ankles, the shins, and the calves, the knees. the thighs, top and bottom, inside and outside. Noticing the glutes and the hips, really just sinking into your chair here. Noticing the belly, noticing the lower back. Taking that mind's eye up the spine, all the way into those shoulders. You're not quite in perfect stillness here, so if you need to kind of maybe shoulder roll a little bit to make sure those shoulders are relaxed. Noticing the arms all the way down to those fingertips. Coming back up the arms into those shoulders again, and noticing the chest. Noticing the neck. Noticing the tongue, releasing it from the roof of the mouth. Maybe you even release the jaw here, opening the mouth slightly. You can even sway the jaw side to side, forward and back. Maybe even open up, maybe you stick out the tongue here. Do what feels good. Maybe you scrunch up the face and release, scrunch up the face and release. Just releasing any unnecessary tension. Continuing to breathe in and out the nose. If you practice Ujjayi breath, you can do so here. Basically, it's a restriction of the exhale, creating an ocean sound with your breath. You're still breathing in and out the nose, but just restricting that exhale. Nice deep breath still. Coming into a space of stillness, physically and mentally. So trying to keep the mind clear, keeping your to-do list at the door, and allow yourself to meditate on your breath, or maybe your intention that you've set for today. Taking a few moments here to yourself to practice being still. Few more breaths here. One more deep breath. And then start to bring your mind back to the body, back to this space, back to the here and now. Starting to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Gradually making your movements a little bit bigger. Maybe some fists and release, squeeze the toes and release. Gradually working into those wrists, wrist circles. Now the eyes are still heavy, looking downward or closed here if you can. Wrist circles, seated nice and tall. Maybe you rotate those wrists and then start to float those arms up overhead. Kind of like a nice big good day stretch. And then exhale, bring those arms back down. Maybe you extend one leg out and then in, and then the other side out, in. Good, maybe you lift the heels. Just bringing movement back into the body. Do what feels good. Maybe you shimmy a little bit side to side, shoulder rolls. Maybe a couple of neck turns, maybe a couple of neck circles. All right, coming back to center. Inhale, float those arms up overhead, slowly opening up the eyes, allowing light in, bringing those hands together and down through heart space. It has been an honor to practice virtually with you today. Again, my name is Roberta. Namaste. And thank you